What's going on, everybody? Robinson DUP. I wanted to give you my next Road to Pro debut vlog. I'm officially 3 weeks out from show, and I had some minor setbacks with my weight. I told you that if you follow my Facebook fan page, my Instagram, Twitter, I was feeling really burnt out towards not the end of this week, but like the week prior. And my coach instructed me to take a couple days off. He told me to take 3. I ended up taking 2 because I started to feel a lot better. I also started getting to bed a lot earlier. I've been really focusing on getting more quality sleep, even with my commute. I've had to sacrifice a little bit, I guess, of my downtime to do it, but it's panned out better. I feel better, and my weight was like all over the place. So I was at 178, then I was up to 181. Then I was back down to 180, 179. This morning I actually woke up at 177.5, so it's the lightest I've ever been. I think the mixture of just getting more rest and just taking better care of myself has worked. My body was able to stabilize itself, get rid of some of the water that I was holding, and my cortisol levels, I'm assuming, would have dropped, which they did. Everything's going as planned. I still don't know where I'm going to end up in terms of show day. John and I made some drastic cuts to my macros, especially on the carb end. Well, it's always on the carb end, but we made some drastic cuts to my carbs coming in. So now on a rest day, I'm only getting about 140 grams of carbs. I know that's really, really low. And on a trading day, I'm going from 225 to 195. The long-term plan here is for John and myself is we're gonna put the work in now, as they say, and get me as lean as possible. And then once I'm done with the OCB show in 2 weeks, is it 2 weeks? 3 weeks? Excuse me, 3 weeks. We're gonna try to refeed me or start reverse dieting into my actual pro debut for the ANBF at the end of September. That's the goal. So that way I don't have to stay very low carb for the next 7 weeks or so. And also I still have a high carb refeed, which is going to be probably around 380, 390, which I'll take once a week. And that way that my thyroid function stays up, and I get some muscle glycogen back in me. That should do the trick, we think. I'm really curious to see what I'm going to come in at. If you've been following my Instagram, which I highly recommend because I know you guys are always asking for update pictures, or if you go to my Facebook fan page, that's where you see a lot of them. You can see what I kind of look like. I am hiding my legs, not because I'm embarrassed by them, but because I'm kind of keeping them low-key until I'm happy with, completely satisfied with the way they look. It's the one area that my legs by far are better than they were in 2012. But they still need to be like a hair better. I want feathering in them. I want further definition, and they're just not there yet. They're way more in than they've ever been, but it's just like that far off. And I think that's what makes the difference. And I want to talk about contest prep a little bit. Those contest prep feels, what keeps you motivated. You really have to love working out, and you also have to love the process of cutting. This is not easy. I do not over-romanticize it, nor am I trying to be an elitist and saying that nobody can do this, that there's only special people in the world that can do it. But in all reality, you have to have a certain mentality going in. And I'm not talking about coaches who starve you or give you 800 calories or tell you to do 3 days or those kind of things, because that's all unnecessary. Or you can only eat the bro foods, because everybody knows that I'm okay with flexible dieting if it's done properly. But you need to be okay with food coming down. You need to be okay with that what you're accustomed, your usual level of performance is going to have dropped. You are going to lose strength, you are going to lose some mass, you are going to lose size, you are going to feel a lot more beat up than usual, and you're going to be tired, and you're just going to have to find a way to do it. There is no way around it. I like cutting down. I like seeing, after all the work I did in the off season, the progress that I've made, because you can't see all these little nuances and tweaks and changes and striations and things that you've developed because of the body fat that's on you. So it's kind of awesome to me that you get to see what all of that looks like when you shred off all the body fat. And to me, it's worth it. Now, you know, I'm also fortunate that I don't come from any sort of disorderly eating, an eating disorder, or body image issues, where I'm okay with bulking up and trimming back down and bulking back up and trimming back down. I enjoy both ends of the spectrum. I like the way I look when I'm shredded, though I feel very thin and my clothes are hanging off of me, even though I'm still filling in an XL shirt pretty well. You know, my pants are falling off. I have to wear like a softball belt that you can adjust so that my pants don't fall off. And I'm not going to buy myself a whole new wardrobe because I don't cut enough or compete enough that I stay there long enough that I need a whole new wardrobe. I only do this for short spans of time. And that would just be really annoying and very expensive to constantly have two wardrobes, one for when I'm on my normal weight and then one for contest season. But I like both. So I like looking really shredded and having an 8-pack and, you know, seeing my quad definition and everything else. But I also like my bulk as well because I feel, you know, I'm allowed to be less strict with my diet, enjoy life a little bit more, not track macros as closely, and have much more of a reasonable lifestyle. You know, I can hang out with friends. I can hang out with my friends anyway, but I mean, I can go out to a bar and have a beer and not worry about it because I'm not in contest prep. Or I could stay up later because, you know, the sleep is not as much of a priority as it is right now. Because I have to maintain my energy levels and I have to keep my cortisol levels down. So I know Dana Lynn Bailey is big on this, and it's part of the whole Flag Nor Fail clothing line. They say love the process. You have to love the process to make it through this. If you don't love getting on stage and competing, then you trying to cut is going to be miserable. And I always suggest as a natural that you give yourself plenty of time to cut down. You know, some people can get ready in 12 to 16 weeks, but I find that the majority of people, that's a lot of weight for them to lose in 12 to 16 weeks, and it makes it that much harder, which turns them off to the process. John and I intentionally decided to diet longer because the cut wouldn't feel as drastic. I wouldn't feel as tired. I've maintained way more lean muscle mass this time around. And even if I only end up being a pound or two heavier than I was in 2012, by far my conditioning and the amount of lean muscle mass that I'm carrying on my body will still be by far greater than what I looked like at 173 in 2012. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave comments down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right, guys, I'm going to go in right now. I got a half hour of medium and steady state cardio to do, and I'll talk to you later.